In the world of hip-hop, the vocals are not just a part of the song, they are the main event. Your voice delivers the story, the emotion, and the rhythm that captures the listener's attention. A professional-sounding vocal track can make the difference between a demo and a hit. It ensures your message is heard clearly and with impact. Without clean, powerful vocals, even the best beat and the cleverest lyrics can get lost in the mix. The goal is to make your voice sit perfectly on top of the instrumental, demanding to be heard. This process starts long before you ever touch a mixing plugin. It begins with a solid recording, which is the foundation of a great track. Think of your favorite rap songs. What makes them so compelling? It is often the confidence and clarity of the rapper's delivery. The vocals are crisp, present, and dynamic. They cut through the mix without being harsh or overpowering. This professional quality isn't just for major label artists with expensive studios. You can achieve this sound at home with the right techniques. It's about understanding a few key principles of audio engineering. By learning how to record, edit, and mix your vocals effectively, you can elevate your music from a simple recording to a polished, professional production that stands out. The journey to a professional vocal sound involves several distinct stages. First comes the recording, where capturing a clean signal is everything. Next is editing, where you clean up any mistakes and unwanted noises to create a flawless performance. After that, we move into mixing, where you use tools like EQ and compression to shape the tone and dynamics of your voice. Finally, you can add creative effects and layers to give your vocals a unique character and style. Each step builds upon the last, contributing to a final product that sounds polished, powerful, and ready for your audience to hear. This guide will walk you through these essential steps in a simple, straightforward way. We will break down each process into easy-to-follow actions that anyone can implement, regardless of their experience level. You do not need $1 million studio or a degree in audio engineering. All you need is a basic understanding of the tools and a desire to make your music sound the best it can be. By the end, you will have the knowledge to take your rap vocals from raw and unpolished to clean, crisp, and professional, ensuring your voice is always the star of the show. The first step to a professional vocal is a great recording. This begins with preparing your recording space. You don't need a fancy vocal booth. A regular room can work well if you control the sound reflections. Hard, flat surfaces like walls, floors, and ceilings can cause echoes or reverb that will make your vocals sound distant and muddy. To reduce this, you can use soft materials to absorb the sound. Hang up heavy blankets on the walls. Place pillows in the corners of the room. A thick rug on the floor can also make a big difference. The goal is to create a dead space where your microphone only picks up your voice. Once your room is treated, it's time to set up your microphone. The most common type of microphone for vocals is a condenser microphone because it captures a lot of detail. Position the microphone on a sturdy stand to avoid any vibrations from the floor. A pop filter is an essential accessory. Place it about 4 to 6 inches in front of the microphone. This small screen will stop the bursts of air from P&B sounds, which can create loud, unpleasant pops in your recording. Your mouth should be about 6 to 12 inches away from the pop filter. This distance gives you a clean sound without being too boomy or too thin. Your performance is just as important as your equipment. Before you press record, warm up your voice. Practice your lyrics so you can deliver them with confidence and precision. When you rap, focus on your enunciation. Make sure every word is clear and easy to understand. Control your breathing so you don't run out of air mid-verse. Try to maintain a consistent distance from the microphone throughout your performance. Moving closer will make your voice sound bassier and more intimate, while moving away will make it sound thinner. Consistency is key to getting a balanced recording that is easy to mix later on. Finally, you need to set your recording level, also known as gain. This is the volume at which your microphone signal is recorded into your software, or DAW. You want the signal to be strong, but not so strong that it clips or distorts. As you practice your verse, watch the input meter in your DAW. The loudest parts of your performance should peak at around -10 to -6 decibels. This leaves plenty of headroom, which is the space between your loudest peak and 0 decibels. Having this headroom prevents digital distortion and gives you more flexibility during the mixing stage. A clean, well-leveled recording is the perfect starting point. After you have recorded your vocal takes, the next step is editing. This is where you clean up the raw audio to create a single perfect performance. The first task is to listen through all your takes and choose the best parts. This process is called comping, which is short for compiling. Most digital audio workstations have features that make this easy. You can cut the best lines from different takes and piece them together into one master vocal track. The goal is to create a seamless performance that sounds like it was all recorded in one go. Be patient and listen carefully for the best delivery and timing. Once you have your final comped vocal track, it is time to remove any unwanted noises. Listen closely for clicks, pops, and any background sounds that might have been picked up during recording. You should also remove the sound of your breaths between phrases. While breaths are natural, they can be distracting in a recording. You can either cut them out completely or, for a more natural sound, simply reduce their volume. This process, often called cleaning, makes the vocal track sound much more polished and professional. A clean vocal track will be much easier to mix and will sit better with the instrumental. Next, you will want to adjust the timing of your vocals to ensure they are perfectly in sync with the beat. This is especially important in rap music, where rhythm and flow are critical. You can manually slide small audio clips forward or backward on the timeline to match the groove of the track. This is a detailed process that requires a good ear. Listen to how your words land in relation to the kick and snare drums. Even small adjustments of a few milliseconds can make a huge difference in how tight and professional the performance feels. Your goal is to make the vocal lock in with the beat perfectly. The final step in the editing phase is adjusting the volume of individual words or phrases. This is called clip gain or item gain in most DAWs. Sometimes certain words will be too loud or too quiet compared to the rest of the performance. Instead of relying solely on a compressor to fix this, you can manually adjust the volume of these clips. This creates a more natural and balanced vocal performance before you even start mixing. By evening out the volume at this stage, you make the job of the compressor much easier and achieve a more transparent, professional result. With a clean and edited vocal track, you are ready to start mixing. The first tool we will use is the equalizer, or EQ. An EQ allows you to adjust the volume of different frequencies in your vocal. A good starting point is to use a high-pass filter to remove unnecessary low-end rumble. Set it around 80 to 100 Hz. This will clean up mud and make space for the bass and kick drum. Next, you can look for any harsh or unpleasant frequencies, often in the 2 to 5 kHz range, and gently reduce them. To add clarity and air, you can apply a small boost with a high-shelf EQ somewhere above 10 kHz. Next up is compression. A compressor reduces the dynamic range of your vocal, which is the difference between the quietest and loudest parts. This makes the vocal sound more consistent and helps it sit forward in the mix. For rap vocals, you often want a relatively fast attack time to catch the sharp transients of the words and a medium release time. Start with a ratio of around 4:1. Adjust the threshold until you see the compressor reducing the gain by about 3 to 6 decibels on the loudest parts. Finally, use the makeup gain to bring the overall volume of the compressed vocal back up. The result should be a vocal that feels more powerful and present. Now it is time to add some space and depth with reverb and delay. These effects create a sense of environment around the vocal. For a main rap vocal, you usually want to be subtle. A short plate reverb or a small room reverb can add a professional sheen without making the vocal sound distant. A simple slapback delay, which is a very short, single echo, can also work well to add thickness. Use a send or bus track for these effects. This allows you to blend in just the right amount of the effect without making the main vocal track wet and undefined. Finally, you can add creative flair with layering and other effects. A common technique is to record doubles, which are additional takes of the main vocal line. Pan one double slightly to the left and another to the right, and turn their volume down so they sit just underneath the main vocal. This will make your chorus sound bigger and wider. Ad-libs, which are the short background phrases and exclamations, can be processed differently. Try panning them to the sides or adding more noticeable effects like heavy reverb or delay to make them stand out. These creative touches are what give your track its unique style and personality. Ultimately, a great vocal sound is a blend of technical precision and artistic creativity.